Well, Ann Coulter is the great columnist and best-selling author. You got her book, In Trump We Trust, Adios America, a lot of great books. Go to anncoulter.com. New column comes out tonight. Make sure you follow Ann Coulter on Twitter. Ann Coulter, how you doing?
Fine, thanks. How are you, Mark Simone?
Very good. What do you think of that James Comey? Boy, he's enjoying being on every show. You see him on Colbert. He got himself a little black sports shirt with the open collar. And
I'm so glad you start with this. I've been unable to tweet for 48 hours because all I'm doing is watching James Comey and his tour for, what is it, the politics of truth, the dictates of my conscience. I love the titles of liberal books. They have absolutely no self-awareness.
Hey, did you hear?
And I especially liked, I only saw someone report this. I'm sorry to say I would not know how to find Colbert on the dial. But he had worked up a little joke for Colbert, which was, I'm like Trump's bad breakup. I'm going out leading my best life, but he wakes up in the morning and the first thing he thinks of is me and has to tweet about me. You're on a book tour for a book you just wrote about Trump. But the titles are always the best. That's what we should do. Have a contest for, the next pompous liberal book. Dictates of my... No, I know what it is. A higher loyalty.
Yeah, and he makes up Lord Comey comes out with these proclamations. Sunday night, he told Stephanopoulos the president suddenly was alone with him in the room. This is totally improper. You can't meet alone with Of course you meet. FBI directors always meet alone with the president. In his own book, he describes 3 private meetings with Obama.
Yes, not only 3 private meetings, but what I thought was interesting, and I'm so glad he told us this, was that Obama looked him in the eye. I always love when people say that. What, was he looking at your crotch before? Where else are they going to look at? He looked me in the eye and told him what a fantastic FBI director was. He wanted someone with integrity and the dictates of his conscience, the politics of truth, a higher loyalty. And you were the man, Jim Comey.
And then yesterday he had another proclamation about the president is threatening to jail a private citizen. They're always jailing. Who else? Who do you think they jail? Private citizens. The FBI not allowed to go after a private citizen.
Oh, because he said that about Comey for releasing classified information.
Yeah, he said what the crimes were and he'd jail him. And then Comey said, how dare he threaten to jail a private citizen?
Yeah. No, in the Trump era, only the president should be threatened with jail.
So, hey, well, that's another thing. With this era now where if you don't like somebody, if you're your political opponent, you decide to criminalize them, even though there's never been any hint of a crime, like Michael Cohen, we'll just assume there is one and go hunt for it.
No, the Michael Cohen thing is very bothersome. I mean, I hate to pull this line because it's used every night on MSNBC to speculate on all kinds of crimes. But I mean, it is the Southern District of New York. My tendency would be to say they must have something. But,
well, apparently not.
At it, it's pretty. It's pretty. I mean, yes, you can do something like this if you think a person, even a lawyer, would destroy evidence rather than produce it. They better have a good ground for that. I mean, these things do have to be approved, and now it's being reviewed by a judge. And I would also add, it better be a real crime. I swear, if this is a campaign finance violation, I think they should all go to jail.
But remember 2 things. They say it's the Southern District, but it's being directed by Rod Rosenstein. Even the U.S. attorney here recused himself and wanted no part of this. And the judge they're in front of is the...
Wait, say that again? Oh, that's because he was appointed by Trump, right?
Yeah, well, everybody in the Justice Department is there because of the Trump let them be there, but he recused himself.
Oh, no, very few are, I wish.
Well, okay, the swamp. But also the judge there in front of is George Soros' favorite judge. She even performed his wedding for him.
I did see that.
Yeah, that's not a good sign.
She does. I hope he paid her well. She does not have a bad reputation.
No.
And the other thing that I find creepy about this, and again, my prejudice is to say there must be something we don't know because it's the Southern District. And it's a U.S. Attorney's Office, and a lot of people have to sign up. But the other thing, and I don't know, maybe I'm wrong about this, but it kind of strikes me the same as the Syrian bombing. Trump threatens to pull troops out, and bam, Assad uses chemical weapons to ensure that U.S. troops aren't pulled out. I mean, how stupid do they think we are? Anyway, similarly, there was a little chronological issue here. Mueller's office gets raided, and the next thing we know, he apparently now has two clients. One is Trump, and one is this RNC really fat, disgusting individual who had an affair with a Playboy model, got her pregnant, and paid her off to stay silent about it. Suddenly that leaks.
Yeah.
That was days after the raid.
Yeah, a lot of stuff seems to be leaking out. Listen.
No, but that's really, really, really bad, Mark Simone. You're raiding a lawyer's office. Even if you have justification for it, it sure looks like it came from somebody involved in that raid.
Well, there you go. The swamp is fighting back. Hey, you tweeted about the New Yorker. This New Yorker is so over-the-top insane, but what they write?
The Chick-fil-A?
No, well, that was a bad one, too, but the end is near. The end is near for Trump now. They have this... He's going to jail at any second. Nobody's found any crime of any kind.
No, it's like living in a time machine. I was noticing, they're back to, and again, I'm not God. I don't know, but they're back to the other story is Michael Cohen was in Prague meeting with Russians. It's the same stories over and over again. You're like Woody Allen in Sleeper, except it's the reverse. It's the exact same thing happening over and over and over again.
Even Mueller, who never does this, put out a statement yesterday saying the things you're reading in the press are not true. I assume he was referring to this Prague stuff.
That doesn't seem like it would be that tough a thing to nail down. You have to have a passport. I mean, I suppose there are ways international criminals have of getting across continents.
Well,
I can't imagine Michael Cohen would even private planes. You have to have a manifest, or you have to land at an airport. It also just seems like a crazy lie to be. No, it's insane. Why am I even considering this? But yes, McClatchy was reporting that Michael Cohen, during the campaign, Trump's lawyer, had this meeting in Prague. That was one of the claims from the famed Russian dossier that at the time Michael Cohen said, quite believably, I've never been to Prague.
And BuzzFeed, did you even know they had reporters? BuzzFeed had reporters in Prague checking everywhere, every hotel, everything. Nobody ever saw Michael Cohen ever in Prague.
I really find it hard to believe that somebody would lie about something like that. I mean, in general, not that I want to be advising criminals, but you're much better off saying, yes, we had sex, but it was consensual, and not, I never met the girl. Because if it turns out you met the girl, and so I think a better way to go, if there were something nefarious, anybody would know who would have been to say, yeah, I was on vacation. What are you talking about?
Well, we'll see what happens. You got a new column coming out tomorrow?
Yes, and for the truly loyal fans, it will be posted later tonight.
Oh, so if you want to be the first to see it, you go to AnnCoulter.com or follow Ann Coulter on Twitter and get her books and Trump We Trust. Get the book Adios America, too, very relevant right now. Go to AnnCoulter.com, Ann Coulter on Twitter, Facebook, and you're on Instagram now.
Sort of.
Well, okay.
I've only posted one photo. But there's a fake Ann Coulter that's posting lots of photos, so you can follow that one.
Yeah, but Ann Coulter...
They all come from my Twitter account, and whoever's doing that is doing a fantastic job.
Okay. So, Ann Coulter at Twitter. Ann Coulter, thanks for being with us.
Bye, Mark. Bye-bye.
Take care.